Greetings for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Your notification for AFCAT examination had already come on 2nd June, and your last date to apply for this AFCAT examination is 1st July 2025. So, without any further ado, please get going and get done with your application. The exam date has already been announced, which is on 23rd and the 24th August. The 25th August is going to be your one of the reserve days, right? Let's talk a little bit about the vacancies over here. So the number of vacancy in the flying branch is very low, right? It's one in for men, SSC men through AFCAT entry, and two for women, SSC women through AFCAT entry. But for ground duty technical, there are like good number of vacancies, 85 for aeronautical engineers, right? And for 23 plus 10 for your women candidates from AFCAT duty, ground duty technical branches, right? Weapon systems, also weapon system, admin, logistics, accounts, education, meteorology. You have a good number of vacancies for both men and women over here. So kindly do not miss this opportunity, right? Because the primary goal, I think, in my opinion, should be to get inside the forces, and then you can always you are going to have one or more opportunities to pursue a multitude of career, right? Okay, you cannot really be fixated with that, hey, I want to be into the flying branch only, right? Okay, which otherwise is a very good passion. It's a very great passion, no doubt about that. But the truth be told that only a handful of the cadets out there eventually make it to the flying branch, right? So given that, we should not ignore the other opportunities that is there, which is at par with that particular branch. Yes, obviously, given the fact that you will not have the kind of thrill, the sense of adventure that you might be having once you get into the flying branch, then the only option is that you go out and pursue your flying education from outside. But yeah, the only condition over here in that case is that you should be having a little bit of money, right, so as to be able to pursue the same. And yeah, this notification has come in tandem with your NCC Special Entry as well, right? Okay, NCC Special Entry. So as far as NCC Special Entry is concerned, they are hiring for the flying branch, right, for both PCM and SSC women. 10% of the CDS seats, CDS vacancies for permanent commission. I think, if I'm not wrong, through CDS there are like 32 vacancies, right? Okay, through CDS entry in the flying branch, right? And 10% of the seats out of AFCAT entry is for SSC, right? So I'm not quite sure whether 10% of which particular number, 10% of this number or 10% of all the number, entire number, right? Okay, I mean all 1 plus 85 plus 38 plus 19 plus 46. So I don't think so. It is only going to be, right, 10% of this number, right? That's what it feels to me. That means 0.1 and 0.2. So this number, I'm not quite sure how does that going to look like. Okay, over here it is almost going to look like 0, but over here, and this number is going to look like 3, right? Because 32 is your vacancy for flying branch through CDS entry, right? Okay, so that is why, in my opinion, they have given at least 2 seats over here through AFCAT entry, right? So let's talk about a little bit of your SSC, right? Okay, short service commission over here. So if you are going for the short service commission, as far as the flying branch is concerned, you get like 14 years of services. As far as the ground duty is concerned, you get 10 years of services with an option to extend for another 4 years, right? And you may or may not be considered for the permanent commission as well, depending upon the requirement of the services, and you are not eligible for receiving the pension as well, right? Okay, and let's talk about eligibility. As far as nationality is concerned, you are supposed to be an Indian, right? And age eligibility we'll talk a little bit about, right? So flying branch through AFCAT and NCC Special Entry, your date of birth should lie between these two numbers, 2nd July 2002 and 1st July 2006, right? If you are a commercial pilot, right, if you are having a commercial pilot license issued by DGCA, then your upper age limit is relaxable up to 26 years, that is born between 2nd July 2000 and 1st July 2006, right? And if you want to go for the ground duty technical and non-technical branch, then in that case, if your age lies between 2nd July 2000, right, 2nd July 2000 to 1st July 2006, then you are eligible to appear for this examination, right? Okay. So what they have said, the candidate should exercise due care with while entering their date of birth. If on verification at any subsequent stage variation is found in their date of birth from the one entered in their matriculation or equivalent examination certificate, will render them disqualified. No representation in this regard will be entertained, right? Let's talk a little bit about the educational qualification. For flying branch, you should have passed 10 plus 2, right, with a minimum of 50% marks each in mathematics and physics, right? and at least a graduation minimum 3 years degree course in any discipline from a recognized university with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent. So what it means is that if you are a BA, BSc, BCom, right, okay, or any degree, right, any 3-year degree, as long as you have studied PCM, right, as long as you have studied maths and physics at 10+2 level with 50% marks, you are good to go. It's not mandatory for you to have completed BE or BTech degree, right? Okay. For ground duty, similarly, they have listed down all these degrees that you are supposed to have in order to be able to apply for that. Kindly check each of these in a little bit more detail, right? Let's talk about weapon system. Like last couple of years only this particular entry came in, right? So graduation with minimum 3 years of degree course, this is what is required for you. Admin also passed 10+2 and graduate degree minimum 3 years course, right, in any discipline from a recognized university or with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent, right? Okay, so if you have passed, let's say you have passed 10+2 with arts, or let's say if you have passed with commerce, then still you are eligible for the admin branch, and at the same time you are passed 10+2 and done graduation in then you are eligible for the administration and logistics branch, and then 10+2 and done graduation in any of the stream with 60% marks or equivalent from a recognized university. BCom if you have studied, BBA if you have studied CA, CMA, CS, CFA, and BSc with a specialization in finance. All these things will render you eligible for the accounts branch. For education branch, you should have passed 10+2 and post graduation, right? You should be a master's post graduation with 50% marks in any discipline, including integrated courses offering PG, single degree without permission to exit, and lateral entry with a 60% marks in graduation in any discipline. Meteorology, you should have passed 10+2 and BSc with physics and mathematics with a minimum of 60% marks or equivalent, or 4 year of graduation in engineering technology discipline with a minimum 60% marks or equivalent in the following stream, right? Kindly go through the listed streams in a bit more detail. One of the seats is reserved for law qualified candidates in ground duty, non-technical branch, and candidate may get employed on legal duties in the IAF after getting commissioned, right? Okay. So now how exactly to apply? You should go on careerindianairforce.cdac.in or afcat.cdac.in, okay, and over there you have to go and not yet registered. If you are not yet registered, then kindly register yourself, and if you register yourself, then after registering yourself, they will ask for the choice whether you want to appear for this particular examination through AFCAT or NCC Special Entry. All those of you who are having NCC C certificate, Air Wing, right, okay, with a minimum of B grade, in that you are eligible for NCC Special Entry as well. You can bypass the examination, or otherwise you can write this AFCAT examination. The choice is only for you to appear for this examination either through AFCAT entry or NCC entry. You cannot appear for it as two separate entries, right? Okay, so yes, so please check on the rest of the details in a bit more detail, right? Okay, so this one point I really wanted to mention, that you cannot really apply for both the entries separately, and because this notification has come over here in a combined fashion, right? Please read the instructions that is given in the circular in a bit more detail, so that you don't miss the critical information. There are some other important facets as well, that you should be naming your documents properly. Name of signature file should be signature.jpg, signature.jpeg, right? Photo and your thumb impression, right? All these things has also to be it's required to have a proper naming convention, right? If you don't have proper naming convention, it will not accept, okay, right? So after on 7th of August 25, 5 p.m. onwards, there is likely to be the availability of your AFCAT admit card, right? Okay. The examination fees is 550 rupees plus GST. That's also you should be looking for, right? Okay. And these are all the details that you will be filling over there, right? Okay. Right. All these details you will be filling over there, right? NOC for government employee, permission for employers, right? NCC special entries. You are directly required to choose your AFSB's scheme of examination either on 23rd or 24th of August. 25th August 2025 is going to be a reserve day for you, right? It is going to be conducted on a couple of shifts, right? Morning shift and afternoon shift, as it is already been happening. Scheme, the subject of the examination remains the same. 2 hours, 100 question, 300 marks, and this is your normalization procedure. That's the statistical procedure that is being leveraged in order to normalize the 4 different shifts that will be happening over here, right? Okay. The rest all details over here seem to be the general details. Kindly go through it. Let's talk a little bit about the examination center. You have all the examination center, right? For example, you have Chennai, right? You have Coimbatore, right? And for example, you have Kochi as well as nearby, right? And let's talk a little bit of a more of a examination center in Chennai in Tamil Nadu. So I think that's all we have, right? And in a nearby you will be having Bangalore as well, right? Okay, it's near to Chennai, right? So you have a good number of centers, examination centers that you can go and appear for, right? Now all these things are your general details, right? Okay, and you cannot really have alcohol dependency syndrome ADS. If you're having that, then you will be liable for getting terminated or invalidated from the services, right? Okay, so no TADA if you are going for the SSB, FSB for the first time for the particular entry, right? That is for the particular type of commission, permanent or short service commission, you will be receiving the traveling allowance, right? Okay, and final merit list training, right? You are going to go through 62 weeks of training for flying and the ground duty, and for ground duty non-technical branches, you will be going for a training of 52 weeks at Air Force training establishments. So pay and allowance, I think all of these are already aware. You must be already aware with all this, right? You also get the insurance of 1.25 CR on contribution, right? Okay, just in case of any emergency and stuff. Okay, and then all these things are your medical standards in much more detail. Kindly go through it at your own end and check for the same, right? So all these things over here is a completely your details of the medical standards, right? So I'll come back to the same old slide over here. So I wish you all the best for your AFCAT preparation and examination, right? The examination will be held on 23rd August and 24th August 2025. If you are looking for an expert guidance, one-to-one mentorship and a little bit of hand-holding, you can connect with us, and we are providing sprint courses over here. This is my number, 777-988-9657. You can always come and speak with me over phone call, WhatsApp or text. I'm always available. So, and I'll get back to you to discuss on the front of your AFCAT preparation, right? Okay. So if you are already prepared and if you just need a little bit of hand holding from our side, then a sprint course, 6 months course is a course for you. And if you need a little bit of more help from our side, then we have courses for 1 year and 2 year duration as well. If you are in your second year of your graduation or final year of your graduation, then 1 year course is suggested. If you are in your first or second year of your graduation, then a 2 year course is actually suggested for you. So thank you so much all of you for tuning in over here, and we'll come again with newer videos on the other days over here. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best for this examination. Let's crack it together. Jai Hind.